Hello students, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today we are going to study about the mulberry cultivation and management. Okay. So today I will give you a short idea how to make up the startup of the mulberry cultivation. Okay. If you want to do the mulberry cultivation startup, you will say that ma'am, how can we do? We need to know the economics, or we need to know the initial amount, how much we have to invest, right? So today we are going to see everything. Okay, I will give you a startup idea to start the mulberry cultivation. If you are looking for any startup, it is a good idea. So first, in the last two classes we have already studied about the intro of the mulberry and how we will cultivate it and what are the important aspects we have to take into the picture. So today in this picture we will see what are mean by weeds and what is the use of weeds or what are the disadvantages of the weeds. First you have to identify what is mean by weed, and second you have to know what is the function of weed, means how it will compete for our plant for the nutrition requirement. Coming to third thing, you will see how to control the weeds, means if weed is growing, if you leave it in that way, what it will do, it will compete for the nutrition of our plant and it will decrease the yield. So first is identification of weed, second is competition of weed between our mulberry plant, and third is how to control the weed. And controlling of weed is three types. One is mechanical method, biological method and chemical method. Fourth is to know the economics of the mulberry cultivation, and fifth is how to master the estimation of the leaf yield. If you don't know how to estimate the how many kgs of leaf is getting for 1 hectare, how can you just cultivate it? So fifth point is knowing the leaf yield. Coming to another thing, you have to know the calculations, how to calculate the average value, how to calculate the density, how to calculate the percentage per hectare. Got it? Today we are going to see all things and make a startup of mulberry cultivation. Okay. First, coming to weeds. What is weed? It is an wasteful product which is growing with our mulberry plant. First we have to identify different types of weeds, right? They are the undesired plants which will grow with our mulberry plant. First is identification. When you see it, you can just identify. When I say the names, you think that we don't know that names, but when you see the picture, you can directly understand it. And for second is you have to know how much amount of this plants are competing with the nutrients of our mulberry. Mostly 30% of our nutrients which we are providing to our mulberry will be used up by these weeds. And also many weeds serves as alternative host. They not only contain our food, they will not only eat the food which are giving to the mulberry plant, they also give the host, they act as host for the pests and pathogen which may affect our mulberry plant and also stop the growth of the mulberry tree. First, identification, right? First we will see about 6 things. I will explain about the 6 weeds, and when you see the picture you can directly understand it. First is Cyanodon dactylon. It is commonly called as Hariali or deep weed. Okay, it is a perennial grass. Even when you pluck it, even one small amount of the stem is present in our land, it again give rise to new plant. So it is very hard to pluck. Okay, it is a perennial plant, underground rhizomes are present and compete for nitrogen which we are giving for our mulberry plant. Second is Cypress rotundus. You can see in the picture Cypress rotundus. It is a nut-like structure will be present in the tuber place. Even when you plug the plant, what will happen? Even one small tuber is present in the soil, it can give rise to new plant. Even it can sometimes, if its stem grow into again soil, it can again grow in this propagation. So even it is very hard to remove. Coming to Legesca mollis, it is a third variety which is also called as broad-leaved annual. Here it is commonly very fertile. When there is a very fertile land, it can directly grow. Okay, it will grow in the loamy soil and reproduce rapidly and drives the manure yield. Coming to fourth variety which is called as Tridax procember. This Tridax procember is also called as coat buttons. These coat buttons, what it's do, it will also works as herbs. Even after plucking, it will directly grow. it can be wind dispersed. It will be having sunflower like shaped. When air will comes, it will act as transporter to transport the seeds. Coming to Euphorbia hirta. What is the common name? It is also called as asthma weed. Due to its leaf structure, we will call it as pudina grass. Okay, it will be growing in a prostate condition, due to which what will happen, it is an annual weed, right? So it can be found in moist shaded area under the sometimes mulberry canopy. The seeds, it will give seeds throughout the year. So some plants will only grow in summer, some will grow only in the winter. But coming to this plant, what it will do, it will grow in all the seasons. So seeds will be dispersed all the time. So we have to pluck it before it get the flowering stage. Okay. Next variety is Parthenium hystrotophoros. Okay. This common name is called carrot weed. It is an exotic weed. It is a toxic. It will affect the soil health and causes the skin allergy, and it requires manual labors to pluck it, because it cannot be plucked by using machinery. And this is the things which you have seen. What is the names? Can you remember the names? First is Candon dactylon. Second is Cyprus rotundus. Third is Legesca mollis. And fourth is Tridax procumbens. Fifth is Euphorbia hera. Sixth is Parthenium hysterophorus. Got it? These are the identification of weeds. When you see the picture, you can easily understand, right? Maybe we didn't study, but we can see in the countryside. Now, you have to see how they should be controlled. I said that 60 to 30% of our nutrition will be consumed by our weeds. Now, how to control these weeds? There are some strategies. If we directly pluck it, we cannot do, right? How many labors you will keep to pluck every day? I said that some plants can grow and give the seeds whole year. We cannot pluck that every day, right? So, we have three ways. First is biological way and mechanical way and also chemical way. Biological way is more favored. Mechanical is also okay. But coming to chemical, you should be very careful, because when you use any chemical to kill the weeds, what will happen? Sometimes these chemicals will be absorbed by our leaves. If leaf absorb these chemicals, it can directly kill the silkworm, right? Silkworms are very sensitive. If you don't take care much about the chemicals which you are using, it can also decrease the leaf yield. It's like using cat or using rat. There are three methods for controlling of these weeds. First is, I said that biological method or cultural method. Second is mechanical method. Third is chemical method. First, coming to cultural method. I said that if you use chemical methods, you should be very careful. Coming to cultural method, it is like plucking weeds by using the labor. Okay. Here what will happen? You can keep the proper spacing, right? Like, how can I say? Summer plogging. If you plug it, what will happen? They will be exposed to the sun and maybe sometimes they will die, and proper spacing is required and intercropping is required. Like we said that during the monsoon season, we will grow the sun hemp to increase the manuring, right? It is a cultural event. Coming to mechanical, here you can use the labor to remove it physically, but it will cost a lot, because every day you cannot hire the labor, because some weeds can grow throughout the year. So, you cannot just use the labor. Coming to chemical method, you should be very careful while you are giving any chemicals, because when you give certain chemicals, it can enter into the leaves. When it enter into leaf, what will happen? Silkworm will depend on the leaf, right? So, when silkworm consumed the leaf, sometimes the silkworm may die, due to which your rearing will be very less. And here are some chemical weeds. We will see there are three conditions. First is, before the weed come, you have to use. Second is, when the weed will come, this chemical should be used. Third is, even after something, you will use a non-selective weeds, control pests. Okay. First, coming to, it is an pre-emergence. What its name is? Carmex and Duron will prevent this sprouting. Coming to, it will be used before the weed germinates. Second is post-emergence, means when the weed has already taken place in your field. Now you will use the paraquat or 2,4-D. It will kill the pre-existing biomass. Coming to non-selective. Non-selective means it will does not selectively kills. We have to use anything which will selectively kill the weeds, but not the non-selective. Non-selective example is glyphosate. Glyphosate is a non-selective thing which will kill all the green tissue. Okay, so you should be very cautious while using the chemical fertilizers or chemical weed controls. Got it? Establishment economics. Show the slide, sir. Okay, here what you can see here, first I said that you can start up the mulberry company, right? Mulberry field. So I'll give you what is the starting price you have to keep as an investment. First, you have to prepare the land, right? If you have a land, it's okay. If you don't have land, you have to take it for lease. Okay, if you have the land, first you will go through the ploughing or harrowing. For 1 hectare, it will be taking place, money is 2,800 its cost. Coming to farmyard manure. First I said that after preparing your land, you have to apply the manure to the land, because soil fertilization will be increased, means the soil should become porous, it should be depth and it should be fertile, right? So for fertility you are adding farmyard manure. This farmyard manure you have to apply 20 tons per 1 hectare. So how much it cost? 3,600. Next, planting materials like cutting or saplings. First you will grow these small plants in another area or gardening. After that, after 3 to 4 months, what you will do? You will take this sapling and you will keep it in the farm where you have to grow it permanently. So for 1 yard, how much it will take? 4,000. Got it? Next, planting and trenching formation. For planting you require laborers, right? Maybe per hectare for 1 day if you take to plant it, it will take 2,000 for the labor. It is a minimum cost. I am not saying about the maximum. You have to be prepared for maximum. Okay. And chemical fertilizers. You can give nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium mixed. It can cost up to 1,500. So what is the first investment here? The first investment is 15,400. It is your establishment startup. Next, I said that for establishment, ma'am, you said very good, we will keep 15,000, but I said that they will grow for 2 to 3 years, right? You can grow it for even for 5 years. So I have to say for give money of your last money for 1 year. Now I will give you for 1 year economics. So try to remember it. See here, annual maintenance cost. First, intercultivation. After once you plug, there is no need to plug, right? You will think in that way, but you have to plug it for every year, because the sand should be removed and it should be again giving nutrition to the soil. So due to plugging, for 4 times you will do it in 1 year. It will take 2,400. And coming to weeding operation, means you will be giving manual or chemicals. It has to be given 5 times in a year, which will cost 4,500. And chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers you can give in 2 doses or 1 dose. But you have to give it for 5 times, which means 6,500. Coming to irrigation management. Irrigation means giving artificial water. If it is a rainfall area, it is okay, rain-fed area. If it is not a rain-fed area and you have to give the artificial water, how much you have to give? It will cost 2,100 for 1 tanker to give 3,40,000 liters of water. Got it? Coming to pruning and training. It will be annual, it is for 1,500. Total cost is 70,000 per 1 year maintenance. It is like for maintaining mulberry crop, he will be taking 17,000. First, I will say one thing, for monthly or first investment will be 15,000. Second, for maintaining of 1 year, you will be taking 17,000. Maybe literally till 35,000. So if you keep 40,000, it will be better for cultivating your mulberry. Got it? Next, yield estimation. Now you got how to identify the weeds and what are the methods used to control the weeds and how much nutrients this weed is taking. Now you have to know how much leaf you will get per yield. For 1 hectare, how much yield you will get for 1 leaf. You are planting 50 to 60 plants, and do you calculate for every month? you can't calculate, right? So you will be maintaining registers and records, which we will be discussing in the next class. These records or registers will maintain how for one plant how many leaves will get, how many kgs of leaf we can obtain in 1 hectare. So to know all this, there are 4 steps. First, you have to calculate expected plants per unit, and also second is actual population, third is average leaf yield, fourth is total yield per 1 hectare. Got it? This 4 is the steps. First is you are calculating expected plants, second is actual population, third is average leaf yield, fourth is total hectare yield. Got it? Now let's see. First is expected plants. You can't directly expect, right? You can't every time, you can't count it. So it is a theoretical maximum number of plants. Here what is the formula here? You will be calculating number, means expected plants equals to 1000 by S1 into S2. S1, what is meant by S1, what is meant by S2? It is the spacing between rows. S1 is spaces between rows and S2 is spaces between the plants in the rows. I said that we will, if you keep 2 rows, first S1 is you are seeing the distance between the 2 rows. Second is you are seeing the distance between the plant in a row. Okay. So 1000 by S1 into S2. If you see the spacing, if I say I am giving the water, choosing the irrigation. If it's irrigation, I said that 2 feet into 2 feet, right? If it is 2 feet into 2 feet, it is 0.6 meters, 0.6 meters, right? So how you will calculate? See, if the spacing is in feet, you have to convert it into meters first. Okay, 1 feet equals to 0.3048 meters. Then it is first you calculated expected plants. Second is actual population density. How will you calculate actual population density? It again depends on how many plants you are expecting. So what is the cost here? Not all the cuttings or saplings will be survival in our yield. Some will die, right? So you have to know the survival percentage. So what you will do? First, you have to select a small sample area. Then you have to count how many actually they are living. If 180 are living, the survival is 90. Got it? No. Now what you will do? What is the formula? Actual cover equals to N means how many plants here, expected plants. N is expected plants into survival rate divided by 100. If you do it, you will get actual population density. Means if you select 200 plants, maybe only 20 are living, 20 are living and 180 is left to die. Maybe 180 are living, 20 is left. You will select 200 plants and you will do it average. And coming to leaf yield per plant, what you will do here? Here, how much leaf does a single plant produce, and you will just harvest it. Okay. Here, total weight of the leaf from 5 random plants. First, you will select any 5 random plants and you will get the leaves and divide it by, and you will get this kgs, right? And now you will divide it by 5. First, you have to select any 5 average plants. You have to pluck the leaves from them, you have to weigh it and divide it by 5. How many kgs you are getting? It is known as leaf yield per plant. Got it? Select 5 average, harvest it, weight it. It is known as leaf yield per plant. Next, fourth is total expected yield. This is the main thing which you have to know and you have to always register in your log books. Okay. First, it is the final step which will combine actual population and average per plant. Got it? Here, total hectare yield equals to actual number of plants and how many plants you have. First, for example, if you have 10,000 actual plants and each produce 0.6 kgs, you are saying you have 10,000 actual plants and you are giving only 0.6 kg of leaf. So what is the total yield? You have to multiply it, means total number of plants into kgs of leaf. You will be getting 6,000 kg per hectare. Maybe now you got one rough idea about it. Now you see the slide, you can understand it in very clear way. So I kept 4 in one place. First, the given data. What is the spacing here? Means the distance between the row and distance between the plant in a row. It is 2 feet into 3 feet. This feet will be first converted into meters. Here 0.6 meters and 0.9 meters. What is the actual count in 200 plant plot? They are saying actual count in 200 plant plot is 170 plants, means in 200 plants only 170 are leaving. Then average leaf weight of 5 plants is 0.9 kg. Now they gave you a good data. Now you have to calculate it. Here first is expected population. What you will do? N equals to 1000 by spacing, right? S1 into S2. Here 1000 by, what is the spacing here? 0. First we are saying expected density, 1000 by S1 0.6, S2 0.9. What you are getting here? 18,518 plants. So first how many plants you are getting? 18,518. Second is survival percentage. Survival percentage you already know, n by 200 into 200 into 100. So 170 means how many plants are leaving divided by 200. Actual plants 200 divided by 100. You will be getting 85% survival rate is present here. Coming to average yield per plant. So what is average yield? First you will taking the spacing and divided with the flower. How many kgs you got the plant? You got 0.9 kgs of plant. You are dividing with 5. You will be getting 0.18 kg. Now what is the total yield? You will take the total expected plants, which is 18,518 plants, into 0.85. What is 0.85? Do you have any idea? It is the percentage. Then and 0.18 means how many kgs you are getting. When you calculate everything, you will be getting 2,833 kg per hectare of crop. Means for 1 hectare you will be getting 2,833 kgs of leaf. I gave you all the instructions how you have to calculate. So if you start a startup, you can directly go to this method. But you have to combine. What is modern agriculture? Modern agriculture is all about combining your mechanical field and also operating field, which means you know what are the instruments using for your farming, right? You have to use it in a proper way and you have to make a good management. If the management is good, if your crop per year is average performance is 5, if the yield per crop is 5,000, if your management is good, you can yield 6,000. If the annual yield is 2,500, if you are managing very efficiently, you will be getting 30,000. If you have to keep one thing in mind, management is very important. If the management is not good, the college will be not working good. In the same way, if your management is good, you can yield good crop, means good yield. So now I'll give the summary of your practice. First is site selection. First you have to select the site where you want to grow your mulberry. I said that India is the best place for cultivation of your mulberry, right? So you have to select. Yesterday I already said about, maybe day before yesterday, I gave the features of soil which you are selecting. First it should be fertile, deep, well drained, and pH should be 6.2 to 6.8. First you have to select the area which is having this characteristic feature. Second is nutrition management, means first while you are applying manure, you should be given good manure. The best manure is farmyard manure. Sometimes if the farmyard manure is not there, you can give green manure which will be produced during the monsoon. Example is sun hemp. Next is pruning and training. What is pruning and training? First, what do you mean by pruning? Cutting the waste buds or stems. Sometimes we will cut our hair splits, right? In the same way, the plant is undergoing pruning, means it will be cutted waste stems or waste buds. So when you cut it, the new plant will grow there, and also transferring your saplings. Fourth is pest management. Mostly you have to choose the biological method, like using cat to kill the rat, but don't make the home mess. Okay. Next, third is pest management. You should be very careful while using the chemical residues. Got it? Then now I'll give you a key summary. First, you have to maintain the survival. The survival should be 90%. Second, weed eradication. First, you have to focus on how you identify the weeds and what are the methods you are trying to remove the weeds. There are some weeds which will have to be removed before the flowering. If the flowering once takes place, it can directly kill your weeds. Next, moisture control. The moisture should be controlled. If the humidity is more, water is more, what will happen? The roots will get rot and you will damage the mulberry plant. Coming to cost optimization, you have to reduce the cost and you have to cut off the things which is not useful. Got it? So, I will just conclude you things. Today what we have studied? We studied that we want to start up the mulberry cultivation, right? For mulberry cultivation, what first you have to do? First you have to select the land, you have to plug in and you have to neatly give the manure, and this manure should be very good in condition, so it will give good nutrition to your plants. Third is growing and transferring your saplings, then it should be properly maintained. After this, today our class starts. This is all about previous class, and today what you studied, how to identify weeds and what are the weeds. Give me some example. Tridax and asthma weed and also many weeds, parthenium. Okay, these are the, and euphoria which is called as asthma weed, also called as pudina shaped weed. So these weeds you have to identify it and you have to pluck it using 3 methods. One may be biological method like using cat to kill the rat, or using mechanical method where you will be using labor, or using chemical method where different chemicals are used. These chemicals will also should not be damage to our leaf. You have to see in that way, and you have to see again whether it is emerging or already emerged, or you have to use specific control to kill the weeds. Okay, these are the about to subjected weeds. Coming to economics, first you have to see the individual plant count, then how much is yielding per, how much yield you are getting per hectare, and you have to do good management, so you will get the high yield. Thank you.